Hi! This is my review of the Divergent movie. Now when it comes to spoilers, obviously I will be discussing the movie in this video. I will be talking about some specific details of the movie, but I will try to not give away any major plot points for the book, especially towards the end. Okay, here we go. So as most of you know, I have read Divergent about 3 or 4 times and I really enjoyed the book, and I always felt that it kind of read like a movie. Now my review is going to be based on lots of notes that I took on the bus home, so I'm sorry in advance. I want to start out by saying that in general, I really enjoyed this movie. For the casting, I didn't really know Shailene before I saw Divergent. I hadn't seen any other movies with her in it, and she was the perfect Tris, and I feel like if I'm going to read the book now, I am definitely going to picture her as Tris. With Theo as 4, it's kind of strange because in my head he looked so completely different, but I think that in the movie he played an excellent 4. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie, and it's not really the main point, but it is all the clothing for the different factions. I always tried to imagine what the abnegation outfits looked like. I really liked the baggy dress with the different patterns and the sweater that she wore over it, and even the boots that she was wearing. I was like, excuse me, where can I get those? Now one of my favorite things about this book is that you can see Tris come to life. You can see Beatrice transform into Tris, go from the life where she didn't really felt like she belonged to this new exhilarating life, and even though it is a dangerous one, for her it's still an improvement of her old life. For example, what I really liked is that in the very first scene, she climbs on top of the roof of her house in abnegation, which is something that someone from abnegation would never do. I thought that the choosing ceremony was really heartbreaking. Seeing her parents being abandoned by both of their kids, even more than in the book, I felt like it really hit home. I thought the introduction of the Dauntless was a bit cheesy when the train arrives and they're all jumping and doing somersaults from the train. But then after the ceremony, when Tris is running with them, such an exhilarating scene. A really great song as well. I quite enjoyed all of that, especially when she jumps and she's like in the gravel and her clothes are torn and she still laughs with Christina. I really liked that they kept calling her stiff, because obviously that's in the book and that's something that you could easily leave out, but it constantly kind of reminds you of the fact that technically she shouldn't fit in, but she's actually doing quite a good job, and I feel like that kind of fuels her as well. I thought a lot of the cinematography was really amazing, but there was so much motion blur, slow down, panning over the crowd, because right now I just can't see anything. And also, like, a minor thing that kind of annoyed me was the fact that she was wearing really obvious eyeliner and mascara when she was still in abnegation, and so was her mom. What I really like in the book is that she goes through this transformation where she gets a tattoo. I really would have liked to see actual needles and not like some kind of patch that you put on. It just makes it a little bit less badass, you know? But I really liked in the book where Christina took her to get some new clothes, get her like a cool skirt and off-the-shoulder shirt, and put on some eyeliner. You don't really get to see that kind of visual transformation. A lot of the actresses had like perfect makeup, while they had about 2 minutes to get up every day and get dressed and take a shower, and they were still rocking the eyeshadow. One thing that I immediately noticed when they were starting to train at Dauntless, that all the boys look the same, and I've read this book several times, and sometimes I was like, is that Al? Is that Peter? Is it Will? I can't figure it out. And I can't even imagine you going into this movie not having read the book and just being like, these 3 guys, they kind of look the same. And finally we have the fear landscapes, which I thought were done so well. All the stuff that you kind of get to see in the trailer with her breaking the glass and saying this is not real, and then when she goes to the fear landscape again and she has to figure out how a Dauntless and how a Divergent would solve all these problems. It's like a slight twist on the book, but I think it works really well too. So yes, in general, I very much enjoyed this movie. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen for the second movie, because I almost feel like that one would work better as a movie than it does as a book. I hope that made some sense. If you have seen the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought. Keep spoilers to a minimum, please, and I will talk to you guys later. Doei!